Good morning. I'm back after a few days I wasn't walking. It's January 30th. Month's almost over, and we're getting a blast of winter to finish off January and start February. It's minus 26 Celsius, which is about minus 15 Fahrenheit. I'm heading downtown. Normally on Mondays I walk around the lake, but I'm heading off to Seattle on tomorrow, in fact. So I need to go downtown, so this is going to be a downtown walk. Wasn't my plan. We have a second car that I was going to take and park somewhere warm, but apparently I waited too long because I can't start it and it won't even boost. So we have to wait for the weather to warm up, I think, before we're going to get it moving again. It's possible my little booster pack wasn't fully charged, so I'm charging it. I'll try again later. But this morning it would not start. I don't want to get it towed. I'd rather just wait and hope when it warms up that I'll be able to get it started. So what kept me from walking? Well, basically the colonoscopy I had on Friday was the main thing. And then the weekend was just the weekend. And it was kind of busy. Just a ton of stuff to do all the time, publishing wise. So my new venture, Endless Sky Books, my first book with it, is available now. It's called Wounded Hearts Take a Chance. It's a little warm-hearted book of poetry from an Ontario author, Debbie Quigley. And I've just gotten the shop set up now on my website. And endless-sky-books.com. So she's the first one on there. I have a couple other manuscripts to look at, so I imagine there'll be something new in the works soon. This one was really fast because it's very short. It's only 36 pages. The next thing will probably be a novel, and it'll take a lot longer to get that one going because it has to be edited. But still, things are happening there, which is cool. And on the Shadowpaw Press side, my traditional publisher side, always things to do. The next book there will probably be The Ghosts of Spiritwood, which is a young adult ghost story by Martine Noël Ma, who's a Saskatchewan writer, but writes in French mainly. This will be the first English edition of that, translated by the author. The original one, Le Fantôme de Spiritwood, is that what it was called? Was published by a French language publisher here in Saskatchewan. La Nouvelle de la Plume, I believe, what it's called. So I'm excited about that. It's almost ready to go. It's in page-proof form. I'm also waiting for her to translate some reviews of the original book that I can use for promotion. See the cord across there? That's for the block heater, which is what I should have had on the car I could not start this morning. But it was parked out there and it was so warm, it seemed like it wouldn't be a problem. And then now it's cold and it's killed it. Also, I think that car loses power, battery charge, just sitting. I think it might be something is drawing it. We've never been sure what, but this is our second of these cars, Volvo XC60. And where shall we go? I guess we'll go across here. About a 20-year-old model. Ooh. And yes, there was a lot of thawing and a lot of freezing, so there's a lot of ice. So I have to be very careful in spots. And this sidewalk is often bad. Often the cleared sidewalks are more dangerous than the ones with a bit of snow on them. So I'm heading down to Brewed Awakening, which is the coffee shop I went to last week and have gone to many times. That's where I'm going to work. I have to go to the bank, get some US cash for this trip to Seattle tomorrow. And I'll be there for the rest of the week, so there won't be any walking after today until I get back. Just another reason I wanted to get something in today. This will be a fairly long hiatus for me. I think I'll cross here because must be pretty close. There's the sun coming up. Oh, perfect timing actually. Oh, I can see comments there that the sun's in my eyes, so if I don't respond, I haven't had a chance yet. Once we turn here, it should be easier. Hello. Oh, marijuana. I'm fine. I walked in this cold before. Just have to dress for it. And once you're walking, of course, you generate heat. If you're sitting still, it's cold in a hurry, even if you're dressed for it. Barring some sort of spacesuit, I guess. Which is what it feels like when you go outside here in the winter. It's like getting ready for an EVA. Boots and gloves and scarves and everything. Layers. We did get spoiled. January was mostly single-digit negative temperatures. It even popped up above freezing very briefly, a couple of times. Not a long, warm stretch, but like this last one, it went up to +2 like 2 days ago, and then the temperature plummeted, which is why the ice situation is what I'm more concerned about here than the cold. Being very careful with my footing. Yeah, exactly, as long as you're dressed for 'em. I've lived in this province for a very long time now. How long, you ask? We came up here in 1967, so I've lived here ever since. Although I did go to university in Arkansas, where this would have been killer temperatures. The kids from Florida thought Arkansas was cold in the winter. Kids from Canada are going, does it ever get cold here? But we did have, I remember, this was in the 70s, of course, when the worry was that we were having an ice age. We did have, first winter I was there, maybe? 70, that'd have been 78 winter? 77? Somewhere along there. I was only there for, well, I was there for 3 winters. Kind of. 2 full winters, and then I graduated in December of 79, so came back to Saskatchewan. So we had a winter, either 77 or 78 it would have been, when snow came. It was on the ground for a month, at least in places. So that was very, that's the Floridians thought they had died and gone to cold hell. Those of us from Canada kind of liked it. My nose is running. I'm looking forward to this place opening over here and giving it a try. This new restaurant, well, it used to be Bodega, now it's called Blanco. Presumably has a Mexican theme based on the painting and the Day of the Dead Skulls. I don't think it's open yet. It still says coming soon. At least it's sunny today. Often the coldest days are the sunniest around here. I have to go to the bank probably after lunch. And so when I come back, I'll probably walk down Hamilton, which is not a path I follow all that often. I guess I'll just go on down to Victoria here this morning. Just as well, these are both short walks there and back because the iPhone here, which is no longer brand new, so the battery's not as good as it used to be, tends to lose charge in cold weather. Rather quickly, so last year, but it was the same phone. Last year, when I walked around at my coldest walk, which was minus 34, quite a bit colder than this, the iPhone did not stay with me all the way around the lake. It died in about 45 minutes, and on some previous walks this year, it's died faster than that. So hopefully it'll last for the 20 minutes it takes me to get to. There's number 1 fire hall, all nicely lit up this morning. Well, only 10 minutes from here to get to Brood Awakening. All coffee shops have to have cutesy names. There's another one here called Naked Bean. The fictional coffee shop I have in a lot of my books, especially the Shards of Excalibur series, which is set in Regina, but I've used it in others as well. It's called the Human Bean. It's in the Shards of Excalibur books, and the Human Bean is also a coffee shop in World Shaper, the first book in what is currently a trilogy. Well, it's an incomplete series, really, the World Shaper series. Switch hands so I could warm up the fingers. I'm wearing my best winter gloves, but gloves separate your fingers, and so your fingers get cold. Mitts are warmer. A pro tip there. Nicely lit up in the sun. The Terra there. Used to be the Saskatchewan wheat pool. It's a nice reflection here on 2 sides of the street. This is Credit Union Central to my right, and also GMS, Group Medical Services, is in there, which reminds me I think I owe them money. Could have gone in there right then and paid it. I think the annoying thing about GMS is, unless they've changed, they don't offer, let's go this way, they don't offer any kind of online payment option. They want a check of all things, which is ridiculous in this day and age. Maybe they've changed, but last year, I think I was still writing a check. See the sun shining through the steam from the furnaces over there in that house, apartment. Ooh, one finger's getting really cold. This is the courthouse ahead of us. Coming up on it from the side, which I don't usually do. I used to be able to walk through that parking lot, but it's more secure now than it used to be. I do have to cross Victoria here at some point, whenever the lights make it At least the courthouse has its sidewalk cleared. That's the North Canadian Oils building there. City Hall over here. Across wherever the lights seem to make sense. Got several oh, well, that answered that question. We will cross here. And now, walk down this side of Victoria. So, there's the courthouse. Flags in front of City Hall. And City Hall itself, of course. Right there. Look up, look way up. I did a contract position as a communications officer, which was on the second highest floor, I think we were. I think it's 17 stories, which 17 has the mayor's office. But I think we were one below that, 16. Might have been 15. Anyway, good view, which was good because I had almost nothing to do. It was one of those jobs where you didn't look out the window in the morning because you didn't know what you'd be doing in the afternoon. They honestly didn't need to have me there replacing whomever it was. I think she was on adoption leave or maternity leave. I don't remember which. I did 2 contracts like that for people who were away on either adoption or maternity leave. The other one was for the leader post in their advertorial department, which I headed up for the time I was there. Advertorials are like editorials, only they're paid for. And so they're all, grand opening of new businesses, special editions focusing on fire prevention or whatever. I love the way the steam is lit up by the sun here. That's coming from the Balfour. And up there you can see that long plume from the Hotel Saskatchewan, which is kind of cool. First Baptist Church over there. This is Knox Metropolitan over here. So there's a winter festival coming up here very shortly called Frost. You'll see tents and things in the park over here as they get ready for that. Maybe I'll be able to walk here down around Mosaic Stadium is where there's a lot of stuff as well. I should try to take a walk down to Mosaic Stadium while it's going on. Trouble is you have to pay to get in. I'm not sure I want to do that. You get a pass if you want. You can tell it's cold by the that plume of vapor from the hotel and everywhere else. Downtown over there. Well, technically this is downtown, but those 2 twin towers kind of mark downtown for some reason. I don't know why. They even used them, excuse me, they even used them on the logo of the city for a while. I guess they still do, maybe. There's 3 of them now, but those 2 matching towers are kind of a landmark. You'll see they even have Saskatchewan Rough Rider stuff on the sloping side. Since we hosted Grey Cup this year, Canadian Football League Championship. And all of these things have old pictures of this neighborhood and what it looked like many years ago. The curvy building is the SAS Power building, designed by Joseph Pettick, inspired by Brazilian modernism. And there's where I'll be at lunch a little bit later. Hotel. One more block. and the first part of this walk will be done. Definitely feeling chilly, but not painfully cold, although my feet are getting cold, my toes. There is a wind. I didn't mention that. It's minus 26 Celsius is the air temperature. The wind chill is minus 36, which is about minus 32 Fahrenheit. So a significant wind chill. Here we are on Scar Street. You look up there, there's the Twin Towers, at least one of them. You can see the Rough Rider Grey Cup Festival sign on the side of it still. Hi, Mary Lou. Another look at Sask Power Building. If I frame it just right, it takes up the entire frame. That might be an interesting thumbnail later. And here's where we're going. Past this building, into the next building is where Brewed Awakening is, and that's where I'm going to have some coffee and something to eat and work on this musical I'm writing the book for. World War II story. All right. Brewed Awakening is right here, so we will stop here. Thanks for walking with me, and I'll be back later on. Bye for now. Good afternoon. It's still January 30th. I'm at the Hotel Saskatchewan, heading home. It's not minus 26 anymore. It's only minus 22 Celsius, which is about minus, 8 Fahrenheit. Not that it is in here, because I'm still inside the hotel. It's very, very warm in here, but that's about to change as I go out. And there we go. Beautiful sunny day, just a little on the chilly side. Make sure everything's in focus here. Since I just was inside, sometimes it focuses kind of short. All right, just the walk home. But since I didn't walk around the lake on Friday, what with the colonoscopy and all, funny how that takes the takes the opportunity to walk away pretty thoroughly. I cleared the sidewalk. That's unusual. We will go down into the park here a little bit. Get a little bit of the park. At least the wind's behind me. That helps. We'll go by Blessed Sacrament Church here. Oh, yeah, walk into the parking meter. Be a good move. I got lots done. I spent the morning writing another scene and starting yet another one for the musical I mentioned I'm writing, World War II story. The songs and story were provided to me, and I'm just trying to turn it into a script. It's getting very long, and I'm less than halfway through, so there's going to be a lot of cutting, I think, at some point. But the first thing is to get a draft done, and I'm making good progress on that. Did some publishing tasks. Had a grant. I got a marketing and export micro grant from Creative Saskatchewan, and the report for that was due, so I got that finished up. What else did I do? Some other marketing stuff. Yeah, so it's been a productive day. Heading home now. Tomorrow will be somewhat productive, although I am going to Seattle tomorrow, as I mentioned. Although that flight won't leave until 6:45 our time. It's only 4:45 over there, so although I get in to Seattle, it'll be quite late by my time, but not so bad there because of the 2-hour time difference. Anyway, that's tomorrow. Probably won't walk tomorrow because of that. So this is likely the last walk for a week. Just warning you now. I'm not going to try to conceal it. I don't want to look. Mostly I'll be in the hotel attending seminars and stuff. So we'll just let it go. Let it go. We were walking down Scar Street, which I don't think I've mentioned, but I am. As we go down here, we'll cross over to the college building side and walk along there, and then take the path, a little bit of the path through the park. A little bit out of the way, home-wise, but as I said, I didn't walk around the lake as I normally do on Fridays, so this will get a little taste of the park that way. It is an extreme cold morning today. That's mainly because of the wind chill. If I was walking the other way, it'd be in my face, and I would notice it much more than with it behind me. It's a little dog, too. Central Park over there. Not that Central Park, but our Central Park. I have to be careful, there's a lot of ice around. A lot of people around too. I don't know why everybody's out walking at this time of the day. I really feel like I need my face covered walking this direction, but I've already got the scarf up, so I'm not going to fiddle with it now. There's some nice, always nice flower beds here in the spring. Not so much now. My actual plan for today was to have driven downtown, and I would just be walking home because our second car was going to park underground. Nice warm parking space that we have access to in the condo that we still own, but we don't live there. But I couldn't get the car started. It's been sitting too long, and I couldn't even boost it, which is frustrating. It has a brand new battery in it. It was in the shop just a few weeks ago. Yeah, here it is dead, and I can't even boost it. Hopefully when it warms up, I'll be able to start it. But it's very frustrating, that car. It's always giving us trouble in cold weather, despite the new battery, and despite having not that many kilometers on it. Even though it's an old car, it doesn't have many kilometers on it. Central Park over there, as I mentioned. This is the... hello? Who said hello? Hinton, hello. The Prince of Wales here. Oh, Prince Charles, sorry. Surprised they haven't renamed it the King Charles. This apartment building. Yeah, you would have thought he would have waited for the pedestrian there, but he didn't. Anybody get the license plate? It is ice. It's ridiculous. That's what happens when it thaws and then the temperature plunges, which is what happened last week. It was all melty and drippy, and then all of a sudden everything's hard as a rock, frozen solid, and anything that was wet is now ice. But I haven't fallen down. This is College Court over here. This is where we have a condo, where I would have parked the car if I could have gotten it started this morning. This is where we lived when we were first married 25 years ago now. Used to be a teacher's credit union, but it's something else now. This was College Gardens. That was the first of these three condo buildings over here that was built. This whole block used to be where Central Collegiate was, and it was like one of the oldest high schools. But it was already gone the time I moved here. Or at least it wasn't a school anymore. The time I moved here. So it's been a long time since it was Central Collegiate. That's where that was. This was a house, of course, very nice house, but now it's a lawyer's office, I believe. I was in there once when I needed a notary public, I remember. Only time I've been in there. Yeah, here it is. McLean, Keith, barristers and solicitors. Now, this is a crosswalk. One assumes, one hopes, that one will get appropriate stopping by the oncoming traffic, and it looks like we did, so I will not be run over today. There's always the next time. Here's Regina. This is the college building, the original Regina College campus building, recently renovated, which is a great thing. It has restored it beautifully. Quite a nice building. Conservatory of Music, or Conservatory of Performing Arts, I should say, is in here. And a couple of rooms that have our names on it. Well, one room that has my wife and my names on it, and one that has my mother-in-law's name on it. For the donations we provided, the family provided. Hello, Cassius. Yep, it is quite cold out. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Minus 22 air temperature. Wind chill is much higher than that. So I'm feeling it more as I've turned this direction than I was. This is all the stuff that's in the college building, in case you're wondering. That's just a facade, all new behind it. But they did manage to keep the facade. You can see kind of the new bit on the end there. Mackenzie Art Gallery used to be in here, and years ago when I sang with the University of Regina Chamber Singers, we used to rehearse in a building that's not there anymore, the old Mackenzie Art Gallery building, which was right in this space here, but it's long gone. This is Dark Hall. At one time, the main auditorium for the city, and recently renovated as well, and now very beautiful inside and very comfortable and much more accessible than it used to be. And then there's this brand new credit union building, which it was the building of that building that enabled the renovation of the Dark Hall. You can see they have a joint space here. I'm going to go walk down right down here. So it used to be Dark Hall, you had to go up those steps to get into it. Now you enter here and you go into what used to be the basement. So it's all on a level, and then there's elevators, which there never used to be, and it's much more accessible, wheelchair accessible, and all that kind of thing. I always like to walk along here because of the, although I won't go over like I sometimes do, right up against the windows. But if you go right up against the windows, you get a nice reflective, but there's some ice down there, so I don't think I'll try that today. Get a nice kind of mirrored image of what's in there and what's out here. Hello, Stefan, is it? Hi, Stefan. My fingers are getting cold, so I think I'm going to switch hands and try to warm up the fingers on that hand. I can fold them up inside my glove, and that helps a lot. Now, if we walk through the park, we can go over this way. Somewhere over here is the path. Where is it? There it is. That's the new pool they're building. It's over there. You can't really see it, but should be open this spring. Since it's an outdoor pool, it's not open now. I look at the credit union building there. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Sunny, must be warm. But it's the sunniest days that are the coldest. My eyelashes are freezing and sticking as I open and close them. And you can hear the crunch of the snow, of course. Another sign of cold weather. Look through the trees, you can sort of see the water slides over there. Brand new. I cannot see a thing on the screen, so if you say hello and I don't respond, that's why. It's like essentially blank with the sun in my eyes and the reflection off the snow. Can't see a thing. Bright, probably bright on the screen too, but not as bright as it is in my eyes. Sunglasses would not really miss this. I can see I didn't even see that jogger until he or she was right on top of me. I'm looking at the sparkly ice in my eyelashes, which is catching the sun shining down from up there, and little bright baubles at the top of my vision. This clearing of the path is much wider than the actual path. It's really, only a normal width bicycle path kind of thing. They've got it wide enough here for a truck to drive along. You must be walking on one side or the other. You'd actually be walking on snow-covered grass. But doesn't really matter. Now, someone has gone through there. I don't think I want to do that. Let's take a look. How beaten down is it? Nah, not too bad. But I think I'll stick to the cleared path. Now I could go this way. There's the Royal Saskatchewan Museum over there. There's a path cleared to it. That might be different because I always cross here. If I go up there, I take a slightly different path and stretch this out a bit more. So let's do that. So this is not actually a path. It's just, they cleared the snow, but it's grass under here actually. So there's the Royal Saskatchewan Museum. Always had a fond spot in my heart for it way back when we moved here from Texas. I had a little water-smoothed rock with snail fossils in it, which we had picked up in Paladura Canyon, which is in North Texas in the Panhandle, near where we lived. As a kid, I thought it was immense. I wonder what I'd think of it if I saw it now. Anyway, I picked up this brown rock with these clearly defined fossils in it. And my parents, we were up here, or they brought me up here, and I showed it to a paleontologist here at the Royal Saskatchewan Museum, and he told me about it and what was in it. I'm sure I was a preteen still at the time. And made an impression on me. At the time I was quite, as many kids are, I was quite rock and fossil focused. Anyway, there's the Royal Saskatchewan Museum. We'll go around the end of it here. Since then, of course, I've visited it many times and performed in it. There's an auditorium down at this end, which we've used for performances sometimes. I've performed a number of times in there. Aha! As I suspected, the iPhone battery is struggling with the cold. It's already showing me low battery, which it wouldn't normally at this early in the day. Oh, looks like we can go straight up to the sidewalk here, which again, there's not actually a path here. This is something they've created works for me today. Hopefully the battery will last another 10 minutes to get me home. I was thinking I'd be walking down the front there, but since this is clear, we'll just go this way. That taller building there was the second SaskTel building, Saskatchewan Government Telephone. The low brick building next to it was the first one, and it's now part of the Royal Saskatchewan Museum. There's a lot of laboratories and fossils and scientists in there. And there's just various offices now in this building. My wife works in the current SaskTel building, which is downtown, attached to the Cornwall Center. Alrighty. Now we're walking north on Albert. You're not allowed to cross the street here. You have to cross to the north side of Albert and then across. North side of College, I should say. And then across. So not the most direct route, but that's okay. There's the Royal Saskatchewan Museum sign. I rarely come up from this direction, so you don't see it very often in these walks. It wasn't the Royal Saskatchewan Museum back when I went to it. It was the Saskatchewan Museum of Natural History. I don't remember when the royal designation was attached to it. A long time ago now. Of course, one of their main displays is a cast of Scotty the T-Rex, largest T-Rex found in Saskatchewan, or in North America, actually. And that's always cool for me because I was there when they were digging him out and have an associate producer or director credit, must be a director credit, on a documentary about it. Because I did some off-camera interviews with the paleontologists, which then appeared in the documentary. It was cool being out there. Somebody else being just a little tight on the crossing. Your perspective on these things changes when you're a pedestrian as opposed to when you're a driver. There's the original Saskatchewan Government Telephones building, which is now part of it. Oh, that's a sharp wind looking that direction. Which is now part of the Royal Saskatchewan Museum. Almost home. So here down. I'll try starting that car again that I couldn't start this morning when I get there. As long as I'm dressed up still, warm. I'll see if I can get it started, but I don't think so. However, I plugged my booster box, that sounds like a boom box. My booster back in to make sure it was fully charged. It's possible that wasn't fully charged and that's why the thing wouldn't boost, but it didn't sound like that. But I need to give it one more try. If it works, I have to go get cat kibble because we're going to be gone. Both of us are going to be gone, my wife and I, simultaneously in opposite ends of the country. And so while someone else is looking after the cat, well, we have to make sure he's got lots of kibble. Obviously, so the cat's the most important member of the family, as everyone who has a cat recognizes, and as cats also certainly assume. As I often say, they don't have hands, but they don't need hands because they have people who do that for them, whatever that might be that requires hands. I think there was another comment, but again, I can't see the thing, so I'm sorry if I can't respond. Also, I think my screen has gone dimmer, possibly as a power saving element, so I'm sorry. I know somebody said something, but I just can't read it. There's every chance that this will still die before I make it the last few dozen meters. to the house. I hope not, because if that happens, I won't have a saved version of it to splice the two together. But it doesn't have to last much longer to get me home. And I think it's still, yes, the screen is still there, it's just very dim. Let's cross over. This is an iPhone 13. I will probably upgrade. I usually skip, well, recently I've been skipping the even numbered ones, so I'll probably skip 14, and whenever 15 comes out, probably the next time I'll upgrade. Well, another low battery warning. It should mean I'm at 10%, so surely that will last me these last few feet. Or meters. Possibly I should just stop. I'm pretty close to home as it is. But I'll take a chance. Worst comes to worst, I just saved the live stream version. And apparently I can live stream in 1800 now. It used to be Facebook would only let you live stream in 720. But that seems to have changed. And so live stream, I think, is at higher resolution than it used to be. Not 4K. As it is, my data usage gets throttled every month because of doing these live walks. Even though that doesn't really affect the uploads, I don't think. At least I assume it's from the streaming. Maybe it's just because I spend a lot of time on my phone. I don't watch videos and stuff. I shouldn't use up that much data just surfing the net. Okay, almost there. I'm sorry I didn't respond to whatever the last comments were. I just can't see them. I'm sure they were brilliant. And I'm sorry I missed them. But missed them, I did. Okay, so we'll stop here. So, I think it's still there. Yeah, okay. So thank you for walking with me. It'll probably be a week before I'm walking again. So I'll see you then, hopefully on the other side of my trip to Seattle. So bye for now.